I'm Pastor Bankole, Akinbinu, and today's lesson, not ashamed. Romans 1:16. For I am not ashamed of the gospel, for it is the power of God for salvation to everyone who believes, to the Jew first, and also to the Greek. This is the focal verse in the entire book of Romans. It's in this book that Paul gives an extensive explanation of the gospel. The gospel, how we're rescued from death and made more like God through Christ. Prior to delving deep into this explanation, Paul declares that I am not ashamed of the gospel. Maybe this is because Paul knew what we also know and experience. You cannot share the gospel if you're ashamed of the message. If you're ashamed, instead of sharing, you'll be silent. If not silent, you'll be scared to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth about your testimony, the truth about the goodness of God, or your convictions because of your relationship with Jesus. The truth is that not everyone considers the good news to be good news. Some feel the message of the gospel is intolerant, it's bigoted, too restrictive, hocus pocus, lofty fabrication, or just antiquated and irrelevant. Because the good news can't be fully understood without discussion of the bad news concerning sin. Some are angered because they don't want to be confronted about their sin. And in this time, it's not hard to understand why some may be ashamed of the gospel, afraid to speak. What might people think of you if you do? What might people do to you? What might they write on your social media page? All of these are valid concerns. But an even greater concern is what might happen if you don't speak. The gospel is the power of God to heal, the power of God to restore, to deliver, and to set free. It's the power of God for salvation to all who believe. As crazy as the gospel seems to some, the gospel is still changing lives and transforming lives when it's believed. When it is believed, people in the dungeons of depression have found joy in the gospel. People sequestered in shame have been set free in the gospel. People who have felt like life had no meaning have found purpose in the gospel. The gospel has power. If you've experienced the gospel's power, you know this firsthand. So the next time you feel ashamed or afraid to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, think about your own life change through the gospel. Here's what I want you to do. Share the message with boldness, because this message saves our soul. I want to challenge you right now to commit this scripture to memory. And the next time you feel afraid to speak up, speak this scripture in your heart. Then tell the whole truth about the source of your peace, your joy, your hope, and your strength. Don't be ashamed.